and welcome back to yet another Just 5 Mins. So this one was sent from my good friend Tim Abel. I'll put a link below because it's a little bit linked to what he's doing at the moment, which is all things Rust. And so what we've got today is something called Warp, which is a terminal reimagined. So command line interface terminal, which there's a lot around. It's not usually, you know, the most sexiest application that you might think of, but this one is. It's actually really well thought out, I think. So you can imagine if you're doing everything in command lines these days, let's face it, I don't know, I am a more of a GUI sort of person. Well, not personally, I mean as in graphic user interface, but anyway, jokes aside. It's sort of, I started life in mainframes and things, so, you know, command lines was all you got, really. But then we sort of evolved into GUIs, and then it seems like now we've evolved back around to command lines in the last few years, well, quite a few years, and I can understand why. A little bit quicker to get stuff done, you can script things and all the rest of it, all the good stuff. So I'm not complaining, but I am, but I'm not. But if you were going to do anything with the command line, one of the worst things I've got is a memory like a sieve. So trying to remember any other than the most, you know, common basic commands is just mayhem. I've tried put them in Notion or OneNote and things and think, oh, I'll come and search for these at some stage, but you never do, you know. And so what Warp is doing, it does have something called Warp Drive, engage and all that sort of stuff. And the idea is that it is sort of an IDE for your CLI. And in a lot of ways, it actually makes real sense because it's like having an IDE for all your command line scripts and commands themselves. You know, have them in a folder structure. You can version control them, share them with your team and all that sort of good stuff. So, you know, it has got a good angle on that. And of course, it would be impossible to say these days that it's also got, impossible not to say these days, sorry, that it's got a sprinkling of AI in there as well. You know, the good old MSG of the digital world makes everything taste better. But that works. It works, and it works in a quite a clever way. So it does things like IntelliSense on the commands that you're typing, and it's got other aspects that you can ask about how you would do something. I don't know if it uses GPT behind it. Maybe it does, but certainly there is a pricing model. It's free for 5 users, completely free for up to 5 members. You know, there's some limitations which I'm not going to go through now, but the idea is it looks like you get quite a lot of the key features free anyway. So you're not really, you are limited, I think it's got it here in front of me actually. I think you can do up to 20 chat requests per user per day. So that's a little bit like asking ChatGPT to do something, I'm assuming. So there is a paid version that you get more of those things, but the free version seems to be, yeah, pretty good. You've got Warp Drive to save and share common workflows, you know, as I mentioned, scripts and commands. Yeah, it's got a really nice feel interface. It is only at the moment for Apple. We don't hate Apple, do we? No, of course we don't. We love all technology. But interestingly, there is a link that I've clicked that says get notified when Warp is available on Windows or Linux. I keep saying Linux. Anyway, I can't get over it. So that looks like it's not too far off, and it is built on Rust, which is why I think my good friend Tim has probably got an interest there. But it looks really cool. I think it's worth checking out. It seems like it's the way to go if you're going to be using a lot of command line stuff. It's certainly for you. As I say, it is limited to Apple as the time of this recording, but I'm sure that's going to change. But worth a look, and certainly a new take on the world of command line interfaces and terminals. So that's what I've got for this time. We'll catch you on the next one with something else of interest.